What up, YouTube? It's your boy Ghost, and I'm coming to you from inside Loshawn's truck. So, welcome to Still Hogging TV. Today we are trucking with Loshawn Parks.
Yes, sir.
And today we're gonna put him in a hot seat.
Let's do it.
So, let's get right to the meat and potatoes. So, Loshawn, I'll let you introduce yourself.
All right. Loshawn Parks. You guys can find me on YouTube as Trucking with Loshawn Parks. I'm also on social media, pretty much everything else under the name of Loshawn Parks. That would be Instagram and Facebook. And also, if you are not already joined with YTT affiliates, come join us. It's basically it's a trucking help group that helps answer questions if you have any questions, or if you're a rookie in the game, or even if you're a veteran in the game and you just got questions. YTT affiliates, post your question. I guarantee you get an answer on something.
All right, so there you guys have it. Go subscribe to his channel, and also his links will be in the description.
Yeah.
So let's get down to the questions. So, being a newly found fleet owner, what has been your pros and cons?
I'll start out, I guess, with excuse my vaping, I'm sorry, y'all. I'll start with the pros. Like, the pros to this is like knowing that you're running a business of your own, you know what I mean? The enjoyment of saying that you're building something from the ground up and watching it grow, to see the progression that you make in this industry, or, you know, for what I like to speak about is generational wealth, to see the progression that I'm making towards leaving my children with something, has been the pro. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there's probably more cons right now than there is pros, just because, you know, the fleet is still early in this age, you know what I mean? So when you're dealing with it in its early stages of building the fleet, then it's probably going to be more heartbreak going on than joy. Just for the simple fact that trying to get employees, trying to just figure things out, trying to figure out a perfect fit as far as like what you can offer the drivers that they would be comfortable with, trying to figure out the home time situation, trying to make sure that your trucks run, that they're not broken down. And so, you know, you deal with, I would say, more cons early in the game than probably what you would deal with later on in the game. I mean, and it's just, I mean, you know, you take it all in. You know, I feel like if you can endure the early cons, then once you become bigger, then it'll be, you know, nothing to you. So, but as far as like the cons go, man, I mean, I could go on with a list of them. But the major issue that I'm having right now is not being able to find a driver, because that's not what I'm looking for. But it's trying to find a quality driver has been the thing that has been the most challenging. You know, you can get everybody putting in applications all day, but certain people are just not going to meet the insurance requirements. And when it comes back from insurance, then it's kind of like
You're the bad guy.
You're the bad guy, you know, because you get excited when a person puts an application because you think that you could potentially have a driver there, right? And without you even knowing that person's information at that time, before you even run their MVR, before you even hand it over to insurance for them to run MVR's backgrounds and stuff like that. So, you know, your level of excitement is like here, you know, thinking that you're going to get a driver, and then insurance comes back in 48 hours and tells you no, and then you know what I mean? So when you start out as a fleet owner, man, it's a big roller coaster ride, honestly. You know, it's a topsy-turvy. Everything goes up, everything goes down. Once again, like I said, a driver comes in, you think you have one, you're on that high part until the insurance brings you back down the roller coaster ride and tells you that they don't qualify. And now you're back out again trying to be on the prowl and look for a driver. And it's like I said, it's not just a driver you're looking for, but you're looking for a quality driver, and that is hard to come about in this industry.
My question is this: when your first truck went out with your team, how did you feel as a fleet owner? Were you like antsy and just excited, or were you like nervous? Like, what was that feeling like?
Well, I was excited and antsy because the team that's in my truck, in one of my trucks, the white truck, I'm in currently my red one, and so I get a team in there. But the team that's in there has they're called the Greshams. Fred, he has 19 years of experience. Okay, wow. So I felt really excited and confident because I was like, okay, this guy has been doing it for a while, so I don't have to worry about him giving me any phone calls where it's like, hey, I can't back into this dock. Like, I'm pretty sure he's seen it all in 19 years, you know?
Yeah.
And his wife has been driving for about 2.5 years, so I felt comfortable because it was like a veteran's in that truck, and his wife is his significant other, so she's learning from her husband on doing this, so I felt really confident. So I was on a level of like, let's get this money, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna they gonna keep the wheels rolling. And for the first 2 weeks that they've been on with my company, it has been probably very stressful for everybody, to include them, because I know that they're going through some family issues, them dealing with deaths in the family. So whenever you deal with deaths in the family, it has to bring you off the road because you got to do funerals and things of that nature. So it's just been a bad start for them as far as family issues go, as far as them having to be at the funerals. And it just has been hard on me because I'm not really making any type of a profit at all, but my expenses are still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it applies a little bit of pressure in this, like, when is the sun going to shine? But I know that, like, once again, it's the beginning stages of business. So you're going to have to endure that wave before you get to the smooth sailing. So
yeah, cause that's what I went through in my when I first went out under my authority. Similar situation, but I had to sit a truck down.
Right.
And that was something that it was like I kind of prepared for, but I didn't prepare for.
Right.
It was something that I knew could happen. I just didn't know it was going to happen so early on. So it was like having to sit, and luckily for me, my white truck, the payment isn't as high as the black one.
Right.
So it was like sitting it down didn't hurt me that much. Mm-hmm. But the black one, it still basically, it had to pick up where the white one didn't.
Right.
Basically, it had to pick up the pace.
Right.
So it was basically working for 2 trucks and my home.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that I learned too, like early on in, and it's like it's crazy.
Right. And it's crazy that you bring that up, because then while you were saying that, I was thinking, like, well, that kind of feels like, why I'm in this truck right now, this red truck, because I was at home. I was at home for 8 weeks and thought that was going that. That's why I made the video that I was retiring for trucking, because I thought that it would be that situation. You know what I mean? Like, okay, this is the point where I'm off the road. But then, with me acquiring this truck right here, and then it's sitting for 2 to 3 weeks, after me doing my calculations, I'm finding out, man, I'm essentially losing about $400 a day on this truck just sitting. And I don't have anybody in it yet. Could I hire a solo person to be in here? Absolutely. But then I started speaking with my wife and figuring out, like, why do we need to put or have a solo in there that takes away some of the money that's adding another person to payroll that we would have to pay, when you're a capable body, you have a CDL, you go drive it until you get a team to get in there, then you come back home. Whereas if you're in there, then we don't have to, it's an extra person off of payroll that we have to worry about. You know what I mean? That means that more of the money could come into the business, opposed to having an extra person on payroll spending out money. So, it made perfect sense. Yeah. So I said, all right, I'm on my way to Houston to go drive the truck. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I'm in this truck right now driving.
Yeah, same situation happened with me. It was but I just fired everybody.
I mean, to a point where big boss.
Everybody's got to go.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, with my white truck, that truck is just, it seems like everybody I put in it has just tore the truck up.
Right.
And that truck, it ain't got no warranty on it, ain't got nothing on it no more.
Right.
So whatever breaks, I gotta fix.
That's right.
So anything that goes wrong, any high expense, that comes out of my pocket.
Right.
And it just seemed like every driver that got in there just dogged the truck out.
Right.
Versus the other truck had the warranty. That's another thing too. Why it's like, I mean, I've seen it like when you have basically employees. For me, I've realized it's better to put them in a truck with the warranty.
That's right. That's
so
true.
If they tear it up,
that's true.
Go right to the shop.
That's right. That's right. That's very true. It's like, you know, a lot of people think that us as fleet owners are getting over on the drivers, or that we're making more money than them. And, you know, when you break down the numbers of this stuff, you know, our profit margin on these trucks are very slim. You know, like me and you had talked earlier, you know, like you were saying, a real fleet owner is going to know what their profit margin is by when you ask them, what is your profit margin? They're going to let you know right off the gate. If they need to, well, if do-ba-dabba-do, then you, do you really have a fleet? Because fleet owners are going to know, on this truck, I'm probably profiting $300. On this truck, I might be profiting $400. With a team, I'm profiting like maybe $1,100. And the crazy thing is, they think that we're making so much money, you know, off of this, and it's not the situation. Like I've always said, that you're never going to get rich off of 2, 3, 4 trucks. Okay, the only time that you're going to start making money or seeing a good profit in this industry off of trucks is, to me, in my opinion, when you start seeing like 7, 8, 9, 10 units and better. But other than that, 2, 3, 4 units, the profit margin is so slim that the driver in reality is making more than the fleet owner is. You know what I mean? For instance, like I broke the numbers down. After, if I had a solo driver in here, after expenses and everything of that nature, after making payroll, expenses, fuel, truck payments for my trucks, I probably would make $300 to $400 in profit. Okay, but my driver, he's gonna make $1,000, $1,100. So when I hear drivers say, "Oh, you guys are ripping the drivers off. You guys are just trying to get rich," you have no clue. Like you literally make 3 or 4 times more than what I'm bringing as a profit. You know what I mean?
So you have a truck payment.
Right.
Now, if your truck's paid off, that's different.
Right.
Then we'll say that $400 to $700 a week that you're gonna be paying, that goes into your pocket.
Right. Now in that situation, like you said, the roles can be a little reversed, and maybe that's where the drivers that have worked for people like that have owned their trucks, and there's nothing. I'm not knocking down the guys who own their trucks. That's what they chose to do. But for the guys like me and yourself and the other guys who got fleets that have truck payments that they have to make, and that has to cover these other expenses, we're not winning in this. Okay, when it comes to the driver is still is winning over us, just because our expenses are so high. So we're not in that same category. Whereas if we own our truck, then the situations is reversed. Okay, now it could be where the fleet owner is making more than the driver because he cuts out all the other expenses, and that's not his fault. I mean, to me, everybody should go through the stage of, you know, working your way up through the ranks of, you know, making payments. So, you know, similar to the saying, you know, you got to come from the bottom to get to the top. Mm-hmm. So if you try to come in on the top, then when you hit bottom, you ain't gonna know how to get back to the top because you never built that ladder. Yeah. But I don't know, different strokes for different folks on that.
Yeah, it's very true.